Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today I'm reviewing LEGO Harry Potter set number 76420, Triwizard Tournament, The Black Lake. This has 349 pieces, 5 minifigures, and retails for $45 in the US. It released just a couple of days ago on March 1st, and honestly, this is a set that I've been waiting for a remake of for a long time, because it pretty much is a direct remake of the second task set from, I think, 2004 or 2005, whenever Goblet of Fire came out, and it's definitely the perfect set to do a modern remake of, and I do think this set is amazing. We'll start out with Harry Potter himself. This is a great exclusive figure. He does have a brand new face print with the gills on his face because he did take a gillyweed to be able to dive into the Black Lake. I love that back printing that says his name. And then he does have an alternate face also with the gills, which is really great to see. And Harry does come with some flesh-colored flippers as well to represent how his feet became webbed. I couldn't get him to stand on the minifigure stand with these, but this is a pretty great inclusion and a new color for that piece. Our second champion in this set is Victor Crumb, the Durmstrang champion, and he looks great as well, because he has a brand new face print. That's something that LEGO didn't bother making for him in 2019, and I really don't like the face print they used on the 2 Victor Crumb minifigures that year. But this one is very, very nice. I think that that's perfect. He does have a little bit of back printing. And then you can do something kind of whack because he does have an alternate face, which is just a giant shark mouth printed on like his regular head. So that's a little bit odd, but the whole idea with this is that you turn his head around and then you pop on this shark piece, which is reused from a CMF series from like 2015. And then you can represent how he grew into a shark, or he transfigured himself like halfway into a shark to be able to dive down and rescue Hermione. That is just, it's perfect, and it's really, really weird, but I mean, it just works super well. That's a great piece. I don't know if LEGO's made that piece in that color before. And the other thing is that, or sorry, I guess the only negative part about this is that I would have liked to have seen dual molded legs, because I believe he was wearing swimming trunks in the book and in the movie, not like pants, but that's a very, very minor complaint because overall this figure is fantastic. The Ron and Hermione minifigures in this set each come with an exclusive sleeping face print, which I think is just perfect because they were put to sleep underwater. I don't know if the torsos are new or reused. I'm pretty sure they're reused, but I can't keep track of all the different Hogwarts uniforms anymore. Hermione does have an alternate face. That's unfortunately just the regular like smirk that's always on her minifigure heads. Because LEGO did make a new face print for the sleeping face, I would have liked to have seen something different for her reverse face as well. Ron's sleeping face is actually still pretty expressive. I do really, really like that. And unlike Hermione, he does get an exclusive reverse face print as well, which is really nice to see because we don't really get new face prints for the main trio that often. And our final minifigure is a mermaid. This looks so perfect, just like the movie. They are pretty creepy. They aren't supposed to be, you know, like the beautiful creatures of legend. They're kind of like sea monsters in the Harry Potter universe. And I really, really like the facial expression on this figure with like the screaming, like bared mouth, because these mermaids were freaky in the Goblet of Fire movie. The torso print is pretty good as well, but I really feel like the tail is lacking. Like, it needs printing. To me, it's the same as like when they don't print the dress pieces. Like, we should have gotten scale printing on the tail at the very least, because I think that really would have completed the minifigure. I do love this hairpiece though. It's returning from LEGO Video, as is the tail. Both of those are great molds, and I really, really like them. We have some decent back printing, and then we do have an alternate face for the mermaid as well, which is a little bit nicer, because of course they weren't actually trying to kill the people in the Triwizard tournament. They were just, you know, doing their job and trying to keep the hostages down there. And lastly, we have a pretty amazing new mold. This is a Grindylow, one of the many fantastic beasts in the Harry Potter universe. It's like this weird tentacled little like sea demon thing. It's really, really cute though, like the piece. I think that like this is just so awesome. LEGO did have these in the Harry Potter video games. This piece looks pretty similar to how they appeared in the game. And it's just really nice to get a new mold for a new Wizarding World creature, because I really, really like the creature molds in the LEGO Harry Potter theme. It's also got like little clips for hands like the baby Groot mold, so you can actually have a minifigure hold onto it. And then of course you can put it down onto a stud. And the whole thing is done in this like opalescent color, which is just really interesting because I don't think, like, I think they are opaque colors in the movie. They aren't supposed to look translucent like this, but it's a pretty interesting piece for the Lego part, and I think it's really nice. So as you can see, we've got two main builds and then just one little side build, which we'll get out of the way first. This is a little boat that you could just pretend to be rowing out over the lake. You can fit a couple of minifigures in here, and then you do have oars attached to the side. It's a really, really basic build, but I do like that it has space for at least two figures, because even though I don't think they used boats in the movie, you could just pretend like Harry and Crumb are rowing this out to sea. As for the other two builds, we do have the underwater, like, mermaid lair section, and then we do have the Spectator Stand from Goblet of Fire that's out on the Black Lake. This part was not included in the original 2004 set, it was just this section, so I really like how LEGO went above and beyond in that regard. But what's even awesomer is that awesomer isn't a word, even more awesome is that you can put this on top of the mermaid section, and then you just have like a really, really tall singular build. But I really like this because then it does kind of give you that illusion of being underwater. But for now, we're going to take a look at these builds separately. So starting out on the surface of the water with the Spectator Stand, this thing does have a decent amount of height. It's just slightly taller than the mermaid section because of that clock. And there is a little feature here. You can spin the clock around. I wasn't expecting that. It's not really that useful, but I mean, hey, it gives you something to do. But I'm just showing you guys that first so that I don't need to waste time talking about the roof. Down here, we have a little spot for the champions to launch into the water. So you can place Harry right there, and you might have seen a little bit of movement. That's because you can actually physically launch them into the water. Just hit a little button at the back, and then they get thrown in. Again, a very simple play feature, but it works perfectly, and it does provide a little bit of action to the set so that everything isn't just kind of static role playing. But this thing is built pretty nicely. I mean, I really like the pillars on the side. I even love these kind of like decorative bracers on the Lego structure. They're not really doing any support, but they just look great. You do have a ladder at the back to climb up to the actual like spectator stand portion. And inside, I think that this is kind of funny. I'm assuming this is like a coffee machine and there's a couple of cups. I mean, well, I guess that makes sense. It's not really that funny because, I mean, once you get in from the freezing cold lake, I guess you would need some coffee or a hot chocolate or something. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be, but I'm going to assume that that's the bottle of gillyweed, even though it's not printed. And yeah, as for the rest of this thing, it's pretty basic. You just have a rudimentary railing. The exterior looks decent. There's plenty of space to put minifigures up here. So if you have some of the Goblet of Fire sets from 2019, you could just line this space with some of those figures. And like I said, the roof is a pretty good build. These like temple roof pieces from Ninjago, I don't actually know if they've been made in sand green before, so that's kind of nice to see. Then we've got the little underwater section, which looks very faithful to the movie. It looks a lot like the original 2004 set. And again, I keep saying 2004, but I don't know if it was actually 2005. But it is using the teal color, which, oh, actually, I guess that was available in 2004. I just don't think it was used in this set. But yeah, teal was retired in like 2006 or something, but that's not important. The point is there's a lot of teal here mixed with sand green, and I think that that is a beautiful color combination. All of this was like one specialized piece in the original set, so I really love that Lego Brick built it. I really like the ingot pieces used as like decorative stonework, and of course we've got the masonry bricks as well. We do have a lot of archways. Even the sides are pretty nicely finished. There's a lot of studs here, which is great for posing characters. Because you're underwater, or you're supposed to be underwater, you can make it look like they're swimming if you just kind of pose them on the side. It does kind of look like they're running up walls, but use your imagination, and that is perfect. This set it's really nice for play, even though, you know, I'm an adult and I'm not really playing with it. Then we have some seaweed. I always love seeing that Lego seaweed piece. We do have the original seaweed piece as well, and these are like all in bright green colors. We do have a couple of animals. There's a crab down there. There's a fish down here. And then, of course, you can throw in the Grindylow wherever you like. This is where you capture Ron and Hermione. You just connect them at the back of their legs to these chains. And that is a pretty good look. I mean, there aren't transparent pieces making it look like they're floating or anything. But because when you stare at this head on, you can't really see those flexible tubes holding them in place, it really does look like they're just floating on these chains. So I'm really, really happy with this overall. I think that this section of the build is incredibly well detailed. I almost forgot you do have a little cave at the back. Actually, I guess this is technically where the Grindylow is supposed to go, because I guess it can live in that little cave. But you do have a goblet down there. The thing is, like, it's well detailed all around, you know? You do have those spaces at the back. You've got a lot of studs and seaweed and stuff on the side. And then from the front, you've got that perfect, like, chain suspension mechanism. So I really think that the designer knocked it out of the park on this section in particular. And then just wrapping up with the entire build altogether, this is what I really love so much about it, being able to have that kind of like surface play and underwater play together. I just think that that's a really nice touch. The only thing that doesn't fit here is the boat because, you know, like there's no way to make it look like it's floating at the water level. But representing things underwater or underground in Lego is really difficult. And I feel like this set captures it really well, especially because you can just play with these parts separately or put it all together. I feel like it's really just perfect and I'm very impressed by it. Here are the extra pieces for this set. Here's the box for this set. I do love the underwater scene, but honestly, by putting the surface part so far away on the front of the box, it does make it look way smaller than it is in person, although they do fix that on the back by showing you the set all together. And the instruction manual still is this disgusting style that I really wish they would change. I just like the box art on the front of the manual. But at the back, you do have an ad for the banner sets, which I don't know if I'm going to be getting right now because I don't know if I want to pay $35 for each of these. And then you have an ad for the 2 regular sets of March 2023. Honestly, I don't really have that much else to say about this set. I feel like I've gushed about it a lot. I think it's very well detailed. I think it's a wonderful display piece. I think it's a wonderful play piece. I think the minifigures are awesome. I have very minor complaints like Hermione could have done with another new face print. The mermaid could have had some more scale printing. Crumb should have had dual molded legs. Whatever, like those are all things that just would have made the set perfect. But, you know, I'd still say that this set is like a 9 out of 10. The price is a little bit of a sticking point for me. It's $45. And I don't think it's like overpriced, but I also feel like I don't really feel like it's worth $45. I don't know, maybe it's because the build kind of comes in 2 sections like this. But when I look at this together, I'm like, okay, that would be a $20 set on its own. And this would be a $20 set on its own. And you do have 5 minifigures. So I don't know. I feel like $45 is just kind of a weird price point. If this was $40, I think that that would be perfect. At $45, I do think it would be perfect just with those additional like bits of printing, like I said. But I would highly recommend getting this set. I think that, you know, this is one of those sets that I was waiting for Lego to make, and I'm really happy that they knocked it out of the park on this one. So let me know what you guys think about this set in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well, and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com. I'll see you guys with more videos soon. Bye for now.